the two of you, and obviously just the relationship that you guys have with Kyrie. Obviously, the latest came down in New York with the mayor and the statement that Eric Adams made. They could lift the mandate, the indoor mask mandate, March 7th. But in terms of unvaxxed, I particularly loved his stance, though I know it's not easy. I think for him as a mayor, obviously in the position that he is in, it's more than just athletes per se, though he gets it, right? Kyrie mentioned though recently that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel for being available more so than just on the road. Do you guys see this? Richard, maybe you have a different kind of angle given your connection to the organization, et cetera.
No, I think the mayor, there's a lot of different things. Obviously, this is less, I think it's always going to be about health concerns, but I think it's becoming more and more political, which isn't a surprise to anyone, because they just laid off like 1,200 workers that weren't going to get the vaccine. So that's all that like every mayor or politician, the day they take office, they're fighting for re-election, right? So it's like you're fighting against, the teachers union and the police union and the construction union. So if you're going to stand your ground and say that this is about health, trying to make an exception for a guy that dribbles a basketball, that's not the best idea. But where it gets really weird and dicey is that like the privatized business, you're allowed to, you can't do it or something. And don't quote me on this, but I think if they lift it, Kyrie would be allowed to play in Madison Square Garden, but he wouldn't be allowed to play in Barclays. That's when it gets fucking stupid. Because he is a visiting player at that point in time. He is a visiting player, right? So he would be allowed to play in Barclays just like all of the other people that come into the city that are unvaccinated from, let's say, the Raptors or from OKC, So they're allowed to play in Brooklyn, even though they're unvaccinated. They're allowed to play in the Garden, and they're unvaccinated. They're even saying that Kyrie will be able to come into Barclays Center as an unvaccinated person, but won't be able to play. So that's when you start to get into this dicey, like, guys, what the actual fuck?
So let me ask you, because you both are intelligent human beings as well. You don't just dribble a basketball. Is there a solution?
There isn't. The Kyrie is actually the biggest, what's the best way to say it? Kyrie is the thing that gives the hypocrisy a face, right?
That's good sentence,
you don't,
Richard.
Yeah, thank you. He is the thing that gives the like when you're saying they had to fire 1,200 workers. Well, the world doesn't know about Lisa or Michael or Kareem. They don't know about these workers. Like they know, obviously these people are impacted, but Kyrie is the person that's like, okay, that's a rule. What about Kyrie? Nobody else's name is getting brought up. And so that's why the hypocrisy of wait, so you're saying that Kyrie can go play in Madison Square Garden under the new guidelines, but can't be in Brooklyn. Well, that doesn't make sense. And they're like, well, we're trying and it's not about one person. I'm like, but it doesn't change the fact that it doesn't make sense. And it's like, wait, can he be in the arena? Yes, he's allowed to go and be in the arena, but he can't play. But other unvaccinated players that are coming from other teams can play. Does that make sense? Well, and then that's when you start getting into the politics and it's our job is to make sure, and we're not going to make any exceptions. Like, I'm hearing you, but make it make sense. And the math is just not mathing.
Yeah, the Richard hit all the points, so I don't really have too much to say about it, but
then shut the fuck up, bro.
Just make it make sense.
Help me help you.
Help me help
I feel like
you.
we've heard that a couple times.